Hey guys, welcome to another video of me talking to you. So, basically this video is going to be talking about the power of ideas. And I know, pretty cliche topic, whatever, I don't give a shit. This is my channel, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, and you can't say a thing about it, well, except in the comments, and, whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. But, yeah. Basically, I'll start this video off with a little anecdote that I cooked up on the drive to my GED class. Cause yeah, it just popped in my head when I was just sitting in the car waiting. Uh, Basically, I was thinking about urban legends and how they came to be and like what caused that. So let's start with a fairly simple scenario, why don't we? Let's say in the 1700s, like when America was first being settled, colonized, whatever, I don't care what terminology you use, someone, like a man, was riding his horse through the woods on a path, and it's a really foggy day out. You know those foggy days where you can't see more than a few feet in front of you? That type of foggy day. And let's say that our man here, he hears, like, an animal screaming in the woods, and let's say it's a cougar scream. Let's say it's a cougar screaming. Now, I don't know if you've heard those things scream, but they sound like people if you don't know what you're hearing. So, our man hears this cougar scream, and his mind goes wild, and he tries to see past the fog, but he can't because his eyes can't penetrate it. And his mind starts to go crazy with fear of what could be out there. Now, fear is an extraordinary human emotion, and it is one of the most powerful things we ever feel, really. If it true fear, it's powerful. I wouldn't know. I've never felt true fear, I don't think, but it's definitely fucking strong. Uh, so this fear that he feels causes him to have some kind of hallucination, very vague in front of him, where he just sees a man walk out of the woods on one side of the path, stop in the middle, and just turn to him and like waves a bit and smiles. But he's so far away that he can't tell what he looks like. He just sees the smile and the wave. And then this man walks back into the woods. And our guy, he speeds the fuck out of there and goes back home that night. And he tells his family and his children, he is like, okay, I need to tell you what just happened. I need to tell you what I just experienced. So, in his mind, in this man's mind, what he just experienced was something paranormal, something cursed. Maybe a demon, who knows? Probably a demon, actually, or a witch, considering Puritanism and all that was really rampant back in the 1700s. But still, in his mind, it's real. What he saw was real. It wasn't the result of A, a cougar scream, B, the fog playing tricks in his eyes, and C, his overwhelming fear creating a scenario in which he hallucinated. Those factors wouldn't even appear in his mind because, you know, they didn't know what cougars were, they didn't know what the sounds were, they didn't know that you could hallucinate back then, they just thought it was like visions. So, yeah. So he tells his family the story. And who knows? Maybe years later, 2 decades even or something, his son, this man's son, finds himself on the same road, on the same path through the woods that his father went down that fateful day. And he from hearing this story his whole fucking life. The idea alone of there being a ghost or a demon or a witch on this path is enough to force him to see it himself. Psychosomatic hallucinations. The idea was planted, the seed sprouted, and once it sprouts, it is very hard to kill. So let's say over the generations, over the centuries, this idea, this figment of this dude's imagination, of this thing in the woods there, slowly extrapolates into a statewide urban legend. Like the Jersey Devil, for instance. Like that could very well be what that is. Some kind of idea, some kind of scary story that was told around the campfire, and it just spread and spread. And what if I told you? What if I told you there was someone at that window behind me? Would you believe me? Or would the idea not spread? Would it not stick? See, that's the thing. Ideas have to be well expressed. They have to be powerfully told to you in a way that emphasizes them, makes them stick for them to germinate. You can't just randomly say, "Oh, by the way, there's a boogeyman next to you," and suddenly people believe you. No, that's not how that works. It takes powerful charisma or years of this idea being spread. And I think you're seeing where this is going, like cults, religion, fucking what happened in World War II over in Germany, like that is all the result of ideas that spread and germinated in the minds of people across the world, or in, well, Germany's case, just Germany, but still, same thing, really. You had a really charismatic man, Whitler. I'm not gonna say his real name, Whitler, because YouTube fucking sucks. So Whitler, he was a very charismatic man, and he did a lot of bad shit with an idea that he cooked up in that psychotic mind of his, and that spread. It spread like wildfire. That's the danger of ideas. That's how fucking powerful they can be. I mean, you want another example? Fucking Christianity, bitch. Like, do you even see the state of the U.S. with all these fucking idiots saying that, oh, you shouldn't, that gay marriage should be illegal and abort, all that bullshit. Like, all because they read it in some fucking book, and then a preacher parroted them for years upon years, their entire childhood, until it finally stuck and germinated. That's what an idea can do. Some good fucking soda. But yeah, what if I told you there was someone at that window? Would you believe me?